And we are back in the garage. Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, Matt, and this is After 5 Garage. As you can see by the 4Runner, it's kind of a chilly day here in Charlotte, North Carolina, but that's not going to stop me from getting some stuff done on it. I got a small checklist of some things that I would like to knock out. One being the LED. You know what? Let me just show you. Here, come on. Let me just show you. I would like to upgrade the side steps to white LEDs. I have already converted all the interior lights to white LEDs, so as you can see, it really just doesn't match that well, so we're going to get the side steps taken care of today. Another reason I was able to get this vehicle for so cheap, let me show you. So you open the interior, you go to open the hood, right? It pops. Awesome. You go to open it. Now, I saw this as a win. I know it sounds odd, like, oh, it's broken. Why would you want to buy that? I saw it as a talking point. So when I decided to go look at this vehicle, they couldn't open the hood and the battery was dead. So we're going to go ahead and get that hood latch fixed. Don't worry, people. I already got the new part right here. And then lastly, the JBL system that's OEM in the car, the factory sub is rattling. Yeah, that's not gonna fly. So, did a little research online. Pioneer, oh, let me move these bad boys. That's gonna be for the side lights. Pioneer makes a 8-inch subwoofer, and it is a direct drop-in. And then I also purchased this little wiring harness. Let me see if I can get it on camera for you. This is gonna allow me to basically plug and play the new subwoofer to the OEM harness. So, if you have a 4th Gen 4Runner, there's the harness, and this is the subwoofer if you want to utilize the factory locations. Eventually, my wife and I want to utilize this truck as like an off-roading, go camping kind of thing. So I want to plan ahead, and I don't want to just go buy a subwoofer box and subwoofers, amplifier, and just sink over $1,000 into something that's going to honestly be in a way. And when it comes to camping, trunk space is everything. Also, just a little something to, I guess, freshen up the interior. Let me get in here real quick. The 4-wheel drive switch, that's what it looks like. Turns out you could go buy a Toyota Tacoma AC knob. And I bought 3 of these for 10 bucks. And this is actually going to replace that boring knob right there. Now, keep in mind, I kind of want to give you the vision that I'm going for. Everything that is silver that you see up here, this is all going to be set in black. Like I did this right here. Also, added this leather shift boot. The shift boot is Lexus GX470 inspired. I'll show you a picture right here. It's not identical, but why not? Why not give it a shift boot to kind of give it a different look? Another thing that I want to show you, the OEM interior lights are all orange. Now, as you can see, I have a burnt out light here. And this LCD display is burned out also. So we're going to make this LED white. I do apologize for the glare. As for the gauges, they are like an OEM orange. I'm still on the fence of how I want to do this. What I'm thinking is keeping the needles red, making the odometer part red, and then all the numbers will be white, just to kind of keep it an OEM plus look. I don't know. I'm also considering blue, but I think red and white will be a more classy OEM plus look. This will not be done today, and this will not be done today. This will be done in a future video. I still have to get a few more things before I tackle this project. I'm also waiting on the vinyl wrap, so might as well wait for everything to come in before I start ripping everything apart. Also, I forgot to mention, while we're on the interior, the DRLs on this truck are the turn signals. So basically, while I'm driving in the daytime, my turn signal lights are constantly on. Hence why the turn signals were up when I bought the vehicle. So there is a wire underneath the dash, or basically underneath the steering compartment behind the fuse box. I'll have to look up the wire. I believe it's green with a red stripe. Basically, all I have to do is snip that wire, and it disables the DRLs. And honestly, long term, it's going to save the bulbs that are in the headlights. Places like Canada, they require DRLs. I'm in the United States, we don't require DRLs. So for me, that's a no-brainer. I'm going to go ahead and snip that wire and save my future turn signal bulbs. Since we're on the inside of the vehicle, I figured let's start with the easiest 4-wheel drive knob. Let's get to it. You literally just grab it, pull it towards you, and it's out. And then you're going to take your new one, and you want to make sure that this little notch is facing this way. Nice little upgrade. Look at that. Before, this wasn't lighting up, and as you could see, we have a little backlight going on. So that now motivates me to make this either white or red. But look at that. Now that's illuminated. You know what? I'm feeling generous to my subscribers. Let me show you what I'm working with here. So when I bought the Tacoma AC knobs, they send them in packs of 3 because there's 3 knobs. If you like this quick, easy upgrade, you saw how easy it was to swap it out. If you want one of these, let me know. I only have 2. But if you have a 4th gen and you like this little upgrade, I'll hook you up with one of these. Or if you also have a 4th gen and you want the OEM knob, as you can see, there's no scratches. There's nothing wrong with this one. So I'll hook up some 4th gen owners out there that might be wanting a 4-wheel drive knob. Okay, so we're just going to start on the passenger side. So as you can see, this is the passenger front tire. This is the front LED, or this is going to be the front light on the side step. And you're going to look up and you're going to see right here, this is going to be your light. And what you're going to do is you're going to twist this way and you're going to wiggle it out. Oh, there it is. And this is going to be your bulb. And we're going to swap all 4 of these bulbs with LEDs. Grab your new LED bulb and you're going to plug it in. So there you go. There's your new LED light. And then what we're going to do is we're going to line this back up so it goes back inside. There's our before. And there's our after. There's the rear. And there's the front. I love it. I'm just going to pull this back towards me. And we're in. Okay. This rod is missing. So we're going to go ahead and change this out, connect it to here. There is a, oh boy, I just realized there is a slight possibility I probably should have ordered this one. It's okay. This is okay. We've had a very productive morning. I'm not ashamed to take one little L. If I have to order another part, so be it. Let's get into it. Let me kind of assess this off camera real quick and see what's required before I start ripping it apart and everything, all right? I do need that plastic.
Again, to release it, I've got to put on this part here. And here's the little catch right here.
Not a big deal.
So what I have to do is this part of the rod is going to go through this hole, and then this is going to clap over it. So I'll try to do this with one hand.
So yeah, maybe, yeah, I feel like that's going to be like very specific. I don't know if that would be like an O'Reilly's AutoZone part. I feel like that's going to be a very specific part to this specifically. Now what I could do, $10 here, 10 mil here. You open up inside this little cubby. There'll be a little 10 mil right there. You have to remove the door sill for the passenger side, and then you're going to have to remove the seatbelt to 14 millimeter. And then you're just going to have to carefully remove all the clips. And then once you remove all the clips, you are left with this. And, oh yeah, you could actually see how bad the subwoofer is. So we're going to go ahead and get this open. Let me see what it takes to get in here. Looks like it's going to be some Torx. So let me go get a Torx head and let's get the speaker removed. So it looks like it is a T20. So we're going to go ahead and remove those. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I would say she's blown. And that's why we're doing this today. Alright, looks like there's a little ring. So we're gonna go ahead and pop off this little retaining ring. Yep, there we go. And there is our lone subwoofer. Alright, well, out with the old. Let's go get the new one. Alright, so like I said earlier with the speaker wiring, go ahead and get these out. Basically, the wiring harnesses that I purchased are going to plug into the OEM harness like so. And that way I could plug this in to the new speaker. Same thing with this. Same thing with this side. We're going to just plug it in. And there we go. We're all plugged in. We're ready for our new speaker. The new speaker comes with these style terminals. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm just going to have to strip these down. Basically just going to cut off these ends. Just going to cut these off. So just going to push down on the terminals. Insert the new wire. Here we are. Putting in a Pioneer, baby. Alright. So, let's see here. Do I want to keep the grill? I don't want the grill. I do want to keep the retainer. That's very important. Now, even though it's not fully secured, what I'm going to do is just do a quick test. Make sure we don't have any rattles.
Today, The Strangers,
we're working.
Chapter 3 comes out.
No more
Remember
rattles.
that movie, The Strangers? When the couple was...
Now, I do want to say one thing. Going into this project, I knew this wasn't going to be rattling the windows or anything. This was just going to be an OEM replacement just to get away from the rattling with some of the songs that I've been listening to. So I'm actually very happy that I was able to find something honestly a lot cheaper than the OEM sub. It's up to date and it sounds good. So I'm going to finish getting all of these secured. So what I'm going to have to do is just drill a tiny hole, and then that way I could run these screws through, and we're going to get this all secured. I'm actually going to leave the grill off. That way you could kind of see the Pioneer. And then what I'll try to do is record everything going back together, since I really didn't get to capture it coming apart. So let me go get my drill. We're gonna get these holes drilled out, finish securing the sub, and we'll get this all put back together. Now comes the fun part. Getting it all back together now. Okay. Phillips, 10, and then the 14 for the seatbelt, and then just gently push all the clips back in. Now at this point, I'm going to fold the carpet back over. And we're just going to continue assembling the interior. L-O-L. Alright, well, you know, not the end of the world. It is a cheap part, but yeah, I mean, all I did was I lined it up and I went like this. And I mean, you could literally see where my fingers are. I went like this and it just went. It's okay. Luckily, there is a part number on the back, so I'm going to be giving Toyota a call. Whatever. I almost forgot about the DRL wire. Once you get onto the driver's side, underneath the kick panel, there'll be a 10mm over here and a 10mm over on that side. We're going to drop this panel. Okay, now that this kick panel has been dropped down, you want to remove the two 10s for this little metal bracket right here. There are 3 10 mils that are gonna remove this fuse box. There's gonna be one up there, one down in this corner, and one right underneath this harness right here. Once you remove those 3, I'll show you what to do next. So it's actually gonna be 4. There's gonna be another one that sits right here. That's gonna allow you to droop this fuse box. And then behind the fuse box is this little black box right here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna unplug right there, and we're gonna find that wire that we need to cut. All right, and based off of this form, it looks like it is going to be pin 12, light green with the red stripe. So coming over here, it looks like this is going to be the light green with the red stripe right there, ready for us. So we're gonna go ahead and get that snipped, and we're gonna test to see if we have DRLs anymore. Wire has been cut, secured it with some electrical tape. Let's put everything kind of back together and see if we have DRLs anymore. Yeah, no DRLs, baby. There we go. Yes, coming together. All right, so running lights are done. The DRLs are disabled. New subwoofer. Let's see, what else? We did the hood thing, yes. So I called Toyota of Concord. I left them a voicemail. I left them the part number and what I need. And then I also told them I need this because apparently I have Hulk strength, and by lightly pushing down on plastic, I break things, but whatever. So hopefully they'll get back to me today so I could go get, I think it's going to be at least this part or the plastic that's going to attach the rod right here. So that way I can open the hood. Yeah, I think this was a very successful day. I'm going to go fold the back seats back up. All right, so I think that's going to wrap up this episode for today. I think we accomplished a lot on the 4Runner. Little things that I've had on my list that I wanted to knock out today. So as always, like and subscribe. Appreciate you guys tuning in. If you have any comments down below, let me know. Also, like I said earlier in the video, if you were interested in those little knobs, leave a comment. I'll ship it out to you. Just pay shipping. I don't mind sending something out to you. Just pay whatever the shipping costs. I'll send it in like a little envelope, so it'll be really, really cheap for you. Other than that, thanks again. We'll see you in the next one.